You are listening to the Mountainside Podcast, and joining us back in studio once again is my day one supporter, Jermey Myers. Jermey has been a huge part of my success here at the Mountainside. I always enjoy having him as a guest. The conversations can literally go anywhere. This was a great episode. Enjoy our conversation. Happy 4th of July to everybody. Stay safe out there today and enjoy your freedom.
Here for our biannual podcast with Bobby.
Happy Independence Day.
When is it? This is going out this weekend.
It'll go out on the 4th.
On the 4th.
So if you're listening to this on the day it releases, it is Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July to people who are listeners. That's awesome.
Let's go. Got Derek back in the studio.
What up?
Yeah. What up? Say it again. You were muted.
I said, what up?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, I am stoked that you're the 4th of July episode. I didn't even realize until it was like, I don't know, it's been a blur, right? Like we were just talking about that before I hit record.
Well,
it seems like not that long ago.
8 months ago that I was here.
Is it really?
November.
You helped me with a couple podcasts in between there. But I've kind of lost you, man.
I know.
It's a bummer.
I'm all wrapped up. Life went and got in a big fucking hurry, didn't it? Dude,
It's all good though, man. You're crushing it.
Without going too deep into what ends up drawing all of our time, but like I had a pretty normal, mellow existence, and then fucking threw a stick in the spokes, dude, and just like fell down the cliff, and I'm just rolling and just like hit from all sides. Yeah, it's a busy.
It's funny. Our recurring guests come in. They're like, "Where's Jermey?" And I'm like, "Oh, do you want to do a podcast with him?"
No more. I know. Yeah. He's not around.
I'm still waiting for you to start the Salty podcast, dude.
I'll work on. It's in my head, dude.
You got a studio whenever you want it.
I know. It would be good. I got a lot of material banging around in this empty head of mine.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, everything's fucking busy, and you're busy. Like I used to bump into you all the fucking time, and now it's just like it'll be 2 months, and I just hear like beep beep, and I'm like waving at you, driving by.
My horn doesn't work.
Oh, that's why you yell at me. You're always like, yo.
No, it's awesome, man.
No, but you, dude, you're like crushing it. You had a busy couple of weeks.
Fuck.
Traveling.
It's about time, man.
Shows.
5 years, you know?
Yeah, I know, right?
No, it's all good. It's all come at like just the right time, just the right amount of people, like the right amount of guests. Like we've had some true patriots in, and that shit's important to me. And like, dude, thank you for letting me house the White House flag.
The White House flag.
Behind Derek.
That is authenticity.
I don't think, we need to throw this on camera.
Authenticity guaranteed
so
by
what I'm
my
gonna do
buddy
here,
Matt Perry of Perry Productions.
Smile, you're already on camera.
What?
Yeah, a little behind the scenes here that you guys never get to see, the autographed door. And then we have a flag from the White House that Jermey has on display. This is turning into a little museum in here, dude.
Dude, you got a lot of stuff, man.
It's crazy. Like a little shot of the table here. Starting to collect some bones and badass coins and all kinds of shit.
It's you're gonna need a showcase or something, because it's like, look at all this cool shit.
I know.
And it's
we need a warehouse.
All this real estate. Well, you're going to, but it's like, I come in and I look at this and I'm like, what a cool collection. And I'm like, man, I don't collect anything. Actually, I mean, I have a lot of shit, but I don't have anything that I'm like I was thinking I used to collect hockey cards. And I don't do anything like that anymore.
You collect cars?
I have two, but it's like...
No, you don't.
It's like, well, it's true. But I have two cool ones.
Liar.
I have two cool ones.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's not exactly a collection. I do enjoy that, but it's like, you can look at each of these and tell a story about each one of these whether it's a spear tip or a challenge coin. I just I find myself like, it's hard. I don't know if it's about being like in your late 40s or something, but it's like, it's hard to find something that you want to get into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It kind of loses its luster. Like this is specifically, everything in the studio is a podcast collection. Like it is here because we talked about it or had somebody in, and we're really honored by them to give it to us because these are like not one of a kind pieces, but like You just don't go out and like
you don't get them on, off eBay.
No, like, and you don't ask for them either. Like, hey, by the way, give me a challenge coin. It's not. You'll never get one. You know.
Funny.
Actually, there is one thing in the studio that beer stein that the bison skulls leaned up on. That was from a previous time, but I have a whole collection of these at home too.
It's funny. The guy who gave me that flag, my buddy Matt, his brother is. It's kind of funny. He just minimal filter on this dude, and he doesn't have any problem approaching anybody for anything.
So freedom of speech is all right to him?
Yes. No, okay. Yes.
Okay.
He's very much that guy. But it was like he'll challenge coins, stuff like that. He walks up to, like, when I worked all the campaign stuff, he would walk up to Secret Service guys and just, you got a coin? You got a pin? So he's worked with him before, but he has just a massive collection of it.
Really?
He's the guy who walked up to Trump, got the autograph. So for
nice.
He's
for
just,
James?
Yeah. He's just like, he'll just walk up. He walked up to the president and said, "Here, sign this." It was like, fuck. I was like, holy shit, dude, you're nuts.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's got a whole collection of these, and each one has a story. He knows exactly where he was. He knows exactly which Secret Service agent gave it to him. He knows all of that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
I know everyone that's been given to me.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Or sent to us. Some people just send them in because we shout them out or whatever, a few of them.
Cool, man.
So it's been pretty cool, but the way to get these is to give something to them in return, and then they feel like obligated, I guess, or something. So I guess here it's been a platform, or we share the same values, maybe, which is important.
You and a seal.
Yeah.
Yeah, same values. Yeah, these are rad, dude. You were talking about one that you just got.
So I just got these two at a show the other night at Mile High. So I took my son, not to dive into this too heavy because this could be an entire podcast, but I took my son down. Yeah, I'll show you these. Sorry.
Nope.
Should just fucking handed them to you. And we got hooked up, right? He got hooked up with the working pass, and I was like, look, you're going to work, though, because it says working pass on your pass. Like, we're not here as like... So he was a little scared and nervous. I was like, you're going to be on stage, bro. Like, get ready, man. Dress in all black.
You're in show... Wear your show blacks.
Little did he know he was like in catering and getting the whole roadie experience, right? So, fortunately, I have a lot of friends that are on the crew, and they hooked us up with they hooked Tyler up with just a handful of stuff, right? Like, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but he got some really, really special stuff that people only would catch from a band member, if that makes any sort of sense. So, and it wasn't like a little bit. It was like his hands were overflowing. That's how much this lady loves me, right? That I've worked with and known for like 30 years. So she hooked him up. So throughout the show, whenever we saw a kid, I would say, hey, go give that kid one. Mm-hmm. And it would just make their fucking night. You know what I mean? Like, these kids are like true Metallica fans and stuff like that. So when we were cruising around the stadium, Eric Tilley was there, shout out, and his son. So we ran up to their box because we had working passes. We could go literally anywhere we wanted to in the stadium.
Eric was in a box at Metallica?
Yeah.
Fucking good for him. Dude.
Yeah, dude. I think he got hooked up. So
he sure did.
Shout out.
Those things are expensive.
We ran up and gave him a pick I just blew it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We hooked him and his son up, so that was cool. So it was a cool experience for Tyler to like share the wealth, right? Because he could have, you can get greedy with that shit.
Of course.
So I made him give them to some cops that were just standing there like working the show.
Yeah.
Like backstage, I was just like, here, go give these cops some. And then they saw me the next night and they brought him. They're like, where's your son?
That's fucking rad.
So really, those are Tyler's coins. And he's like, no, put them at the studio, Dad, so I don't lose it. And like, because he told me he was a Nuggets fan, so they brought in like the Nuggets. This one's the Nuggets championship Denver police deal, which is kind of a big deal because that cop got ran over at the parade.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Remember that? Like lost his leg or something? That was a wild thing. Yeah, pretty dope though.
That's rad.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, there's this weird
American stuff, by the way, people.
on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Cop coins. There's a weird thing that's happening now with like, I'm taking James to Vegas with me at the end of the month for a gig. my buddy Rob, who does, I might have mentioned this to you, but he does catering for some pretty high-end acts. He's done it forever, as long as I've known him. And his son's 16 now. So he's got his kid plugged in with the lighting guys for the band that he tours with. So it's
That's
like
badass.
all of our kids are hitting this age where it's like, you better fucking learn how to work, or at least get some access to this stuff that their old man has done. So
there's no other industry that'll teach you work ethic like that, because it doesn't fucking matter. Like, you're there literally 20 some hours. If you're on the crew, you're there 20 hours. And you're eating 3 to 4 meals there.
And I've always said, but like, it's pretty true that you're like only as good as your last gig. You start not pulling weight, you ain't getting a call again. So, if you want to be employed, you better learn a work ethic and bust your ass, and pay attention, or at least be funny, or be fun to be around, because you're not getting a call. If you're just a sandbag, you're not getting the call again. So, So it is. It's a great thing to expose them to. I don't know. I mean, unless you can plug them right into something quality, I don't know that I would want my kid being local labor. You know what I mean?
You're just around a bunch of really seedy people.
You're around a bunch of ex-cons.
It's funny, the
like
guys that I still work with in that industry, we call them pirates.
Yeah.
And we literally just bring like pirate flags around and mark all of our shit. And they're all a bunch of old like road guys, right? So like, shout out to Justin Freeman, who we've had on the podcast.
Yeah.
Incredible lighting designer. But it's cool because you'll see little carts and, those little carts and shit that we drive around, then the dimmer barges and all that sort of stuff come in, like little pirate flags blowing on everything.
And those are the dudes who elevated above all of that.
Yeah.
They escaped the seedy dudes. They made it out. But it's really cool. I'm following him, his son and him on tour right now, and it's like, that's got to be awesome. To be able to have the opportunity to expose them to, it's like take your kid to work day.
Oh, totally.
Except you're on a bus and you're in the stadium and you're like the coolest guy in the room, and everybody loves you because you're young and like.
He figured out what a laminate does for you. Like literally people just coming up to him and fist bumping him just because he had that sticker, because they think, oh, it's a rock star's kid or whatever. They're trying to get a piece of it.
I took James to a couple of things, and he's like, "Can I go back there?" And I'm like, Pass says you can. Yeah. And he's like, what? And just
don't fuck it up.
I know. I'm
That's
like, behave yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look weird that you're 15 and you're walking back. Like, it's a little bit weird, but like, just act as if. And so anyway, that's how old we are now. We're able to take our sons to gigs and put them to work.
It's rad.
I guess.
Super rad.
What's supposed to happen.
Yeah. I think that's where you learn work ethic. That's where I learned it from, was all like the male figures in my life. It definitely wasn't my dad.
Right.
I'd be in federal prison if it was my dad.
Oh my God.
But my grandfathers and uncles and stuff like that. And then also just like football coaches and, all those male influences hold a huge impact on a young man's life, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's important to be a good role model no matter what you are, whether you're a father or not, man.
Or a role model.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best to be a role model. I don't know how good it is, but I'm at least I'm there. I'm in the room.
So I need a little more history on this flag. And because I got you on the spot, I don't know that we've really dove into it.
Well, because
when I come in, like people are like, oh, I love the flag up there. And I was like, you want to know something cool about it? That flag is from the White House.
Yeah, it was for RNC. That was I was over in this, I forget the name of the building. We were there for a month. We were in DC, peak COVID for a month. It was the weirdest time.
So this was 2020.
Peak. Yeah, it was crazy. August 2020, I spent all of August in DC, and it was like, talk about laminates. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Just a pocket full of laminates to get to access the places that we were working at. And then, so a bunch of my buddies were over at the White House decorating all that, spray painting the grass green. Like, dude, like, it's shit like that. They were buying everything from Home Depot, like all the flowers and stuff. They were just like, dude, the White House is kind of ghetto. Like,
we got to spruce this place up.
Yeah, it's going to be on camera. You got to get a good shot. So they're buying like matching green spray paint to the dead parts of the lawn. And
now that lawn's really dead.
Yeah, I know. Ensuring that nothing would grow there again. But anyway, yeah. So Matt grabbed that for me because we all knew that we were living in this like really strange, weird, important time, and we were just grabbing all kinds of shit from like the stages and the venue and everything, and then that one was back like I don't know, I guess the president was standing in front of that, so that was a good one. I have one from Mount Rushmore.
Honored to have it in here, dude.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
fucking
it's
cool.
Fucking yours, dude.
It's not mine.
Great.
It's yours whenever you want it back. But it's a great place to display it.
I've got so much stuff from that couple of years, and it's that was hanging up in like my garage. I'm like, it's pretty cool down the studio with all the other cool shit.
Well, it gets a lot of love. I mean, we have a lot of veterans in and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So like,
no, it's a good spot for it.
And I think it's important. Like a lot of people don't understand like the stuff that the vets seem to put up. What I found in commonality is like they all have some sort of meeting. Like when I went into Caleb's, like when we went down to Tucson and recorded with Caleb Brewer, shout out, man. Like what a fucking amazing dude and amazing friend, man, to me. Like I don't have any military background or anything like that. Like he likes me for who I am, right?
Yeah, well those dudes like having friends too. They don't have to be a fucking some killer.
Well, and I think also it's not like I'm out to get him, right? Because like he had a whole deal happen to him where it was like, hey, would you mind being a part of this book so it would honor your friend that fell in combat and passed in combat? And would you mind being a part of it? And then they ended up making the whole book about him and his tragedy, and like they just spun everything on him, right? So like I don't do any of that here. I'm like, it's start to stop, dude. Like if there's anything you want me to cut out, I will if we talked about something, but like just honesty.
Dude's got a rad setup down at his place, doesn't he?
So cool. Yeah. So cool, man. Like go watch that On the Mountainside series. Like unfortunately the camera work didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but it was like I didn't care. I was like, we got to put it out.
No,
like,
you were showing me something. It's ridiculous.
It's incredible.
Got an awesome setup.
So his flag in his gym is from his base in Kandahar, but then also like sewn into it are these photos of like 9, might have been 6 or 9 guys. I hope I'm not getting this wrong. I'm sorry if I am, Caleb. But I think there's like 6 or 9 dudes up there that didn't make it back.
Jeez.
And it's like, that's his inspiration in the gym, you know? And then some up and above that. So he's like, anytime I'm feeling sorry for myself, all I have to do is look at that. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Dude, boy.
And he does that for me. It's like anytime I start feeling sorry for myself, like standing down there on concrete, shooting arrows with him all day and stuff, I was like, my feet kind of hurt. And I was like, you would never say that. You know what I mean? Like, that guy's missing both of his legs.
I know. Yeah.
Just thinking about it. You know, that was what was going on in my mind. I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have worn my Vans today. My feet kind of hurt.
Shut you up real quick.
Dude, like instantly that inner bitch voice just kicked in and was like, you fucking pansy, you know? That sort of shit is
whatever.
Inspiring.
Your feet hurt. You can complain a little bit. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
It's just like, I remember my feet hurting, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking, that sucked.
Crazy stuff.
But,
so that sort of stuff's fucking rad, man. So yeah, no, that's fucking cool, man. Thanks for letting us. How's that?
It's nothing. But
have you spent any time in Boston?
No, I've been to Boston once in my life.
Oh, you got to take the kids, man, before they
bounce.
Yeah.
Why? What's up in Boston?
Just doing the Freedom Walk.
Oh, when you were, I got yeah.
It's fucking incredible, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, give me some Philly history, because like I've been to the Liberty Bell. Like, what all's there? Like
everything, but it's like you take it all for granted when you live there.
Right.
Just like you know, obviously, you know, you always tell the story about how this place sucked and you moved, but it was like Philly's so weird because like you'll be like walking to the bar and you'll go, hey, there's Ben Franklin's grave. Like it's right there. Like
right.
I think it's like 3rd Street. And it's like in between an old club that I used to go to that was like this beautiful, beautiful building that they painted all like blue. And right next door is like Ben Franklin's grave. So like you'll be walking to the bar past like all this insanely historic stuff. And it's just, well, that's it. Yeah, that's where George Washington was. That's where Betsy Ross' house. That's Alfred's Alley. All this stuff like that is. But no, it's obviously. I mean, if you went to school, you know all about Philly. It's a.
So when you went
totally
back
historic.
to Philly with the family, because your daughter's there right now, right? Like visiting grandma.
Well, she's like at the shore, and
right.
She's in Jersey right now. Yeah, she's there.
Hell yeah.
No, and we don't. And that's the thing. It's like,
do you guys ever go see any of that stuff?
No.
You should, man.
I know I should.
I should. I want to go with you.
When I'll show you. Some
I've run the Rocky
I'll show you
Steps
some
a few
old
times.
bars, places I used to hang out at.
Yeah,
but
that'd be
like,
rad.
but yeah, I don't know, man. Whenever we go back, it's just to see family. It's something that you take for granted. When I went back to do some work during the campaigns, and I was in Newtown, Pennsylvania, which is like where I used to go drive my old cars when I was younger, and it was right in the fall, and it is so unbelievably beautiful. And I never even batted an eye at it when I lived there.
It was just a cool road to drive on.
I was just like, yeah, I could drive fast down here, and there's no cops. But like, then you go back as an adult, and you're like, oh, dude, this is like fucking really special place.
Yeah.
All the old buildings. When we looked for our first,
I mean,
house,
really, Philadelphia is older than America.
Yeah. And when we went and looked at our first house, we saw this beautiful old colonial style house, and we walked in, and I'm like, well, I can't live here. And the ceilings are too low because a lot of the buildings there are so old. It's from like when people were like
5'2",
5'6" was like your average dude.
Right.
And like I walked in there 6'1", and I'm like all claustrophobic.
They say that that's why Abe Lincoln might have won the election is because of his stature.
Because he was high.
Yeah.
I
might have been.
I just learned how to talk because he was tall.
Yeah. Wasn't he like 6'1"? You have to look that up. Yeah, 6'1" or 6'2".
It was all in the hat. It was a big hat guy.
And then he wore the hat after like.
Looked like a giant.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. So
platform shoes and shit.
And even like, oh, you've been to Gettysburg?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's
wild.
Dude, Pennsylvania's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, when we go back, we just see family.
That place is eerie, man.
Dude, I'm telling you. I know. I was
like
there.
We
I
went
was
there
for a couple of days, and I was like,
we went at dawn, and just like the steam rising off the ground and shit. I don't know if it was just the time of year that we were there. I can't even remember.
I went back into my phone and I looked at a bunch of pictures that I took when I was there, and I was like, immediately I had this like weird feeling because I remember how I felt when I was there. I was like, there's something watching me right now. Like there was something in that air. I don't know what it was. A storm rolled over. There was horrible lightning. It was the 100 and whatever. It was one of the anniversaries of Gettysburg, and it was.
Were you doing a gig there? Or?
Yeah.
Oh no way.
Yeah. So I was there with all my buddies, and I'm just like, dude, this place is kind of weird, isn't it? And everybody was in agreement. They were just like, yeah, there's something definitely going on here, and the weather was super, super strange. My buddy Jeremiah was Abe Lincoln. It was like a whole play production thing. It was
really?
Very strange. He's an actor, so he was on a different thing. But yeah, he was actually playing Abe Lincoln. That's funny. It just made me think about that. But yeah.
God, I don't think I could play any of the founding forefathers. Maybe Abe.
Maybe.
If I lost like 50 pounds. I'd have to really work at that role.
So wait,
sure.
how do we get here? You were
So I was talking about Philly.
Oh, you were talking
and just like history.
But you were talking about cops, and then where were you? Down the hill to go back to your wild week.
Oh shit. We don't need to talk about that.
All right, well, they cut that.
Yeah. It was too wild of a week. Some of it I can't talk about. A lot of it I can't talk about. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That's how badass it was. I love that though.
That's fucking amazing.
You know?
I know.
You'll have to wonder. Someday I'll let it slip. Maybe when some people die or something. which is which is crazy. It's got like a 10-year, you know.
So, but also I'm thinking, I was thinking about stuff that I wanted to talk to you about, and like that, the lands bill didn't pass.
Yeah,
sure
that's
that
huge.
Dan was, I'm sure, very hot on.
Dude, you know who I think was really the voice of it though? Was Cam Haynes. Beat the shit out of it, man. Shout out, dude. Like that.
Especially for a dude that they drag that dude everywhere to like put him out in front of people.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that he had that one in his quiver.
Oh, there's so much
he was
money
just waiting.
riding
He was
on
just
him.
waiting for like the right time to get out of line a little bit and give the middle finger to these people to parade him around.
Yeah, what a better time too.
Yeah.
You know? And then
I thought it was beautiful.
Rogan jumped on board too because
100
he was resharing Cam shit.
But it was funny because you saw all these like kind of like burner hippies joining forces with bow hunters, and like, everyone was just kind of like, no,
that's
like,
how it should be.
We all need to agree on this one thing. Like everybody
100%
threw all their shit, all their baggage, all their politics and everything, threw it right out the window, and said, "Hey, this is the one."
To me, this just proves like, don't trust political parties.
No,
a little bit, right? Like you can subscribe to some and some commonalities and stuff like that, but don't put all your faith in one party and just be like so bought in that,
especially like
you know,
dude, especially like Mike Lee. It's like, you know, you're
dude,
supposed
what
to be the
fuck,
what
man?
are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Like your Twitter handle's based Mike Lee. Yeah, you're real based, dude.
Yeah,
like
I want to have him on. I invited him on.
Everybody
I tagged
revolted
him in
against
some bullshit, and then I invited him on.
Everybody revolted against him, and now he's ruined his name. And
he's got to be one of the most hated guys in America right now.
Anything good, like you think all the goods, the beauty of Utah, all the sportsmen, all the and then who do you have? You have Mike Lee and Mitt Romney come out of Utah. It's like, dude, fucking everybody sucks, dude.
Yeah,
you can't just get one dude who's like a hunter type. I mean, I'm sure that
I'm saying Dan Gates
in smaller
Dan Gates for president, dude.
But yeah,
let's go.
Fucking that guy would,
or governor.
That guy would sort some stuff out pronto,
real fast,
pronto, in a skunk outfit.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
rad.
that's hilarious.
No, it is hilarious. No, but you think about it, like going back to
that was such
like,
a big deal. It was cool how it consumed all of like social media, and I mean, that really toppled it right over. And it was everybody coming together. It was like a beautiful moment. You don't see it anymore. Everything's so polarized that it was kind of rad to see.
I think we need more of that, especially like on wildlife policy and like all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, that's really what happened with the mountain lion thing too. It wasn't just hunters because they make up like 1% of the vote.
Yeah. But
so there was another 49% of people that agreed with wildlife management and it being done by biologists. Mm-hmm. How it should be. Like the hunters shouldn't be managing it because they might kill everything. I mean, that's what happened when Teddy Roosevelt started the North American model of wildlife management. Hunters just decimated it and public market because like a bison skull is so sought after, right? Like I could turn around and probably sell that for, I don't know, $500 or $1,000. There's a market for it.
Sure.
And you can still sell that stuff. You can't sell meat. But like you think about that now, I mean, that's a good chunk of money.
Yeah.
You know? So it still has a value. But now it's just regulated on how much you can take.
I always wonder, you see that famous picture of that pile of buffalo skulls and the dude like standing on top of it and that whatever happened to all of that stuff.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
Did that get sold? Did it get shipped all over the world? Probably.
It's probably in museums and fucking all these other places that like take it, you know? I just think of our like, could you imagine if the founding like forefathers or like Teddy Roosevelt even could come back and see like everything that he worked for and aspired for, and he's like, these fucking idiots are just running it into the ground.
First off, I think he'd be pretty pissed off that they took his statue down in New York. He'd be like,
what? They took his statue out in New York?
He'd be like, all right, first off, fucking happened to my statue, guys.
Yeah.
How'd you let that happen? What the fuck? You had one job. Leave me up on the
How did I not know about that?
Yeah, it was during peak BLM
Right.
when they were just like everything's racist, and it was him like guiding a Native American and a freed slave, and they're just like, but the white guy's on the horse, yank it down. So they pulled the whole shit down. So it was
right.
It was at the height of the stupidity.
Yeah, my whole thing with that is like, if we can't learn from history.
Well, he wasn't whipping anybody. He was like leading them. He was like, he wasn't like abusing anyone. He was just like,
they were working together, right?
Yeah, he was like, yo, dude,
there's levels.
He's like, look, this is the way. Follow me. I'm on a horse.
Yeah.
Horses are cool. And they found that offensive.
There's levels to that shit. Like, your boss might drive a fucking brand new Porsche to work and you drive a fucking Prius, you know?
Yeah,
like,
you're like, one day I might be like Teddy and I have my own horse.
Right.
That could be, maybe that's what it was all about. I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, he might have a couple of issues with the developments in the past couple of decades. I think he'd have a hard time. Yeah, those poor dudes. They'd be horrified. Their hair would turn white instantly if they got dropped off in 2025.
Oh yeah, I think
I'm
that's
sorry.
the
What's
coolest.
happening?
If you're not checking out the Mountainside Podcast on YouTube, you absolutely should be. If you like the content that we create here and you want to help support the podcast, please take a moment, subscribe to us on YouTube, and hit that notification bell. The coolest thing about Boston, the people are fucking amazing in Boston. I love that fucking Southie trash talk, fucking just grumbly voice, you know, like they're like the Irish. Well, most of them are Irish.
The one time that I was there,
Italian.
the thing that I remember the most was hanging out with my buddy. We're at some bar, and some guy was drunk and got a little rowdy, and he got thrown out, and it was almost like a cheap script from like quintessential stereotypical Boston bartender. He goes, probably a fucking Yanks fan. And I'm like, wow, you guys actually do talk like that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I thought that was just like cliche, like what we assumed they say. And no, man, it just rolled right out of his mouth.
So we were rolling into the Bruins Stadium one time, and one of the guys on the bus was from New York, and he was wearing a Yankees hat. And this was at like the height of the Yankees, or it was right after like the Yankees whole Red Sox, like, you know, it's always been a rivalry, but like what year did Boston actually win the pennant?
I don't know.
You have to look this up, Derek. Maybe
wrong guy.
I think it was like early 2000s. It might have been. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was early 2000s.
I can tell you when Kimi Räikkönen won when he won his championship for Ferrari, but I couldn't tell you about anything about baseball.
So 1904 they played in the World Series against the Giants. That's crazy. Huh, you might have to just Google like when they won the World Series. Yeah, they so anyways, we're getting off the tour bus and we're like going to check into our hotel. It was like a travel day off or whatever. And we step off the bus and we're somewhere there in Boston. I don't even know where we were at, getting into some like bougie ass hotel. 2018? No. Oh yeah, because they beat the Yankees in the playoffs.
And then went to Dodgers.
It might have been 2000. It had to be 2004. 2004. Oh, they shut them out in 2004. That's crazy.
Dude, you've been traveling around fucking forever.
Yeah. So we get off the bus, and this dude's wearing a New York Yankees hat. And this might have been a racist thing, too, because he was black, and the dude walking down the street was like a South Boston dude wearing a Boston's Red Sox. He's all... The very first words out of his mouth was, "You're in the wrong fucking place, pal."
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck? He's like trying to get a suitcase out of the bay.
That was as nice of a way as he possibly could have put it.
Yeah.
He had 100. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you're the man. Thanks. Yeah, he had 100 other things loaded up in his head.
Oh,
He's
yeah, I'm sure.
Be nice. You're in the wrong neighborhood.
You're in the wrong fucking place, pal. I was like, oh, it's great. And it's still there. You know what's cool about Boston, too, that whole Freedom Walk? There's one particular bar there that's across from this graveyard. And the Sam Adams Brewery is not far from there either. It's like a block. But you can sit down and have a Sam Adams, and you're looking at Sam Adams' grave.
Yeah, that's all the old cathedrals and stuff in Philly are all the gravestones are all like this thin from the rain, just slowly eroding it. It's really, really cool. And again, you're riding your bicycle past it. You don't even think about it. You're like, you're going to your girlfriend's house. Right. You know what I mean? It's just, you just don't even think about it. And you're just like, wow, dude, I wonder. I mean, you can hardly read the names on it because even how deep they would carve into it has been eroded.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, you're just like, well, those were all people. Like, it's crazy.
It's so cool.
Some of the stuff you just don't think about when you're passing by it.
Yeah, if you're ever in Boston and you're listening to this, you got to do the Freedom Walk. So you like start, it's really cool. It's like a red brick path, and then they have, the Boston Tea Party site. All that stuff's within like 3 miles of. It's like a 3 mile walk or something.
Shit, everything
in radius wise, it might only
everything
be.
in Philly's like within like 300 yards. It's everything.
Yeah, there's
so
a
tight.
map of it there. So like you kind of walk through the city and like the Boston Massacre, the Boston Tea Party, but the coolest thing there, hands down, and we've talked about this a bunch on the podcast, is the Bell in Hand. So I think it's the oldest bar in America. And it's pretty much where the revolution started. Like, the Bell in Hand is so close to where the Boston Tea Party was, and also the Boston Massacre and all that shit. And it's like Washington and all the boys used to go in there and drink. And I'm sure it was a sauced up night.
They were all a little rowdy. They all got a little rowdy.
A few steins of beer and some oysters and, feeling a little froggy.
They got a little uppity and got themselves killed.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever, I mean, we'll see. I mean, work's taken me all over the country, but I've never, I drove a box truck to Boston, and
that's scary.
Oh, dude, I hated that time of my life. They're just like, you're driving the truck, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to drive the truck. Yeah, that was funny.
If you go, you got to go to the Bell in Hand for sure.
All these people fucking wearing masks.
They have the old flag in there with the 16 stars or whatever. I think was it 13 or 16 stars? The old circle flag. It's pretty cool.
It's a Betsy Ross flag.
Yep.
And her house was right around the corner from my favorite bar in Philly, the Artful Dodger. I mean, literally, it was like a 45-second walk. You walk out the door, make a left, and then make a right, and her house was like right there.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, we just don't have that sort of stuff in Colorado.
No. It's such a. You and I have talked about it, about architecture and history and everything here is so much newer. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of hate for this, but like Denver's like the ugliest city I've ever been to. Like, there's some nice sections.
I don't really like you for that comment, dude.
But like, dude, I grew up
in a rural city. Yeah. No, I get it.
New York, Philly, like those areas. But like, now the trade-off is you look west and you go, holy shit, like that's fucking crazy. So all of that stuff is traded off for the natural beauty.
Well, there's actually, I think Colorado Springs at one point was bigger than Denver. Like Denver was just a fucking drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Like the Springs is where it was at because you had so much access to like mining and all that. The mining industry is really what drove this place.
And back east, you had like true craftsmen and they all stayed there. They just kept on building and building and building there. They weren't the dudes who ventured out here west to settle. Those dudes were just kind of like, I don't know, just build something. We need to live here, versus the East Coast. They're building beautiful stuff that was going to be there forever.
Yeah.
And that's just not
most of our architecture in this city came in like the early 1900s, like the Brown Palace. You ever been there? Mm-hmm. It's a pretty badass spot.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then, but it doesn't go. I mean, it's 100 years, maybe even 120 years after the Bell in Hand, or something like that.
But that's what I'm saying. We had like a 150-year lead on that stuff, and then all the European craftsmen and everything that came over to build. So it was like, yeah.
Yeah, the Freedom Walk is worth it, man. It's definitely worth it. You can spend the full day down there, and it's kind of like a bar hopping thing.
Of course it is. You turn anything into a bar hopping thing.
It's pretty rad. I was just at the Capitol, and I was kind of blown away. I hadn't been inside the Capitol for like a year, and I actually went down there for Sportsman's Day and got to go inside the Capitol and do all that sort of stuff, which that was such a fucking cool event, man. I urge anybody next year to go. I'd have to look up when Sportsman's Day is at the Capitol. It's pretty cool, man. It's a bunch of like bow hunters and congressmen come out, and they served all the congressmen.
That's Denver, Derek.
And the general public wild game lunch. So it was like venison and elk and all that sort of stuff. That's a super cool event that they do. Sportsman's Day at the Capitol, I think. Yeah. Let's see when that was.
No, I mean, you go down to the Capitol and everything. I mean, it's
cool.
Obviously, that surrounding area is pretty, but it's just like if you're approaching the city and you've been all over the place, you're just kind of like, it's kind of lackluster, kind of.
Well, even like growing up here, and Derek, you can attest to this a little bit too. It's like I still don't go to Denver unless I absolutely have to. Unless I'm going to see Metallica at Mile High Stadium.
You're talking to the guy that doesn't go to Denver. Like I drive right
you
through
get it.
I drive right through it to go to the airport. That's it. I never go down there unless I have to. And everybody asks me like after I moved, like, "Oh, well, how's Denver?" And I'm like, "I have no idea. I couldn't tell you anything about Denver. I'll tell you how Evergreen is, but like I couldn't tell you anything about. I just had enough of cities.
Yeah.
You know, I lived
There's
in
a
one for a
small
long
part-
time. They started getting worse, and I'm just like, oh well, I don't want to go there unless I need to.
There's a small place in my heart though for Colfax. Like even though it's seedy, but like that's where I grew up in my love of music.
Yeah,
Really, it was like seeing Dead Kennedys play at the Ogden or like these little 800 seat venues, and they were all dying because they were on drugs and they were at altitude trying to fucking be punkers.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. They'd take a lot of breaks.
We get our shit together, all out of shape.
Yeah.
No, that's
pretty
very
awesome.
funny. Yeah. Maybe the city is still cool. I don't know.
It's got
feel
its
like,
spots.
I feel like
I don't know what a cool city is. I mean, I've been all around the world. The cities all around the world. You know, like including London and stuff, and been in some of those bars that like. There's one in fucking. I think it's in Scotland. Is it in Scotland? It's the Robin Hood bar.
Yeah.
And it's literally like this tree trunk thing that you walk into. It's like a.
Dude, again, talk about low ceilings.
Oh, dude, this place is tiny, bro. I was a giant in there.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Super cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just getting old because I feel like I lived in the city. Peak City was when I was there. It was the coolest.
Yeah.
That's when I lived there. It was like, but it probably wasn't. I think everybody probably. Probably feels like that.
Like I didn't start going to Philly until after the 2000s.
It was safe but still rowdy because it was Philly. But it was like safe. There, you weren't getting mugged or shot or anything like that when I lived there, and it's just not like that now.
Right.
But like,
kind of like what happened to Chicago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once you start getting like everybody's real mobile, you know, like that. I don't know if it was like Ubers or I don't know. It was just like I was there early 2000s, and then when I moved out, I started getting like a bad feeling. I was just like, I think it's
time to go to Colorado.
Time to fucking pull the chute here. Well, then we moved to the burbs, but I moved out of the city because I was just like, you know, we had a kid, and I didn't like it. Just started, and you were just hearing stuff happening, and I was like, all right, I think this has run its course. And then we went to the burbs, and then we came here because all that shit started spilling over into the burbs. Right. So we were like, I'm gonna if I'm making a move, it's gonna be a big one because the last move that I made that was a short one didn't do the trick. So and that's how this happened. But
fuck yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah,
Mountainside probably wouldn't have kept going, dude. You were like an integral part of it, man.
But I go home and I'm just. See, yeah, look, dude, those streets right there, like,
that's
fucking
badass.
Awesome.
What is that? Like an old horse and carriage street, or is that like do cars actually drive down there?
You could drive down there.
What?
And you can drive down there and curb your wheels. I
got to get Starlink as a sponsor.
Oh man, yeah, my ex-girlfriend lived on a street just like that. I forget the name of it, but it was right there. It was in between Pine and Race Street, and it was a little cobblestone street. And you know, you got to get moving trucks in there. Like people live there. You got beautiful apartments, but yeah, a lot of streets
crazy.
just like that. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I haven't been to that part of Philly for sure.
You just don't know it.
Right.
It's everywhere. So
Okay.
it's really neat.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild when you almost wonder how those historic places stay historic.
Well,
because they were built for like horses and carriages. Now you got fucking 2-lane roads.
Yeah, but they've got very active historic societies that won't let you change the pointing on some bricks without going through look at this. Without going through all kinds of
that's wild.
Hearings and approvals and you can't paint. People live there in those homes right there.
Still rocking the British flag too, fuckers, traitors.
But you can live. People live in those homes, and
Right.
you can't paint those shutters a different color.
Right.
No, dude.
It's got to stay historic.
Everything stays exactly how you see it.
I mean, it's
which
good.
is cool. It's good because trust me, some tasteless
we need automatic blinds.
jerk would come in and they do something.
Shutters are a great fucking idea. When did those go away?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like what?
I don't know.
Like why not have steel shutters, dude? And then you got kind of like a bulletproof house a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Steel shutter, a bulletproof house. That's
like
a
the
weird
Rob
turn.
Zombie house, you
That's
know?
a good turn.
Yeah, when did shutters
I don't
go
know.
away
It's
that
I
actually
feel-
worked?
I don't know. I crap on the city, but maybe it's just I don't know. I feel like the luster on a lot of stuff.
Look at that old Cutlass, dude.
Look at that thing. That's a great car. I just feel like all the luster of modernity, it's all wearing. Yeah,
Tearing it down.
Matty Unk.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy American history right there. Oh, look at that cottage with the Betsy Ross flag hanging on it. That's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, you see little spots like that all over the place.
That's right.
Yeah, it's neat. I don't know how old the house was that I look at the first thing that hit.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know how old the place was that our townhome that we lived in was. It was
It'd be badass to do some mountainside podcast in some like historical spots. I just don't know anybody who would record with in Philly.
my buddy Brownie is kind of a local celebrity type cat who knows everybody and just knows everything about Philly. Refuses to leave. He's been threatening to leave for the 15 years that I've known him. And he's, I got to get my kitchen done. I got to get my roof done. I'm going to list the house next spring, and he never does it. And he's just so I've known him. He's been selling his house for 12 years, and allegedly, and it never materializes. He'll never go anywhere, but he knows everything about everywhere.
So like born and raised there, generationally,
and worked at one of the like classic venues there, the Trocadero. He was a lighting guy at the Troc. Has seen everybody, has worked with every band that ended up getting big, and would cruise through those.
So he's an
venues.
industry guy.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, now he's a TD, but he used to work with all those dudes. He would be a guy who knows everything about Philadelphia and our founders who in their.
Like I want all the
everything they
dirt
got
on
to
them,
there.
dude. You know, like there's so much dirt on
There's
these
a guy
guys,
who used to
like-
walk around. He's kind of like Santa Claus that walks around here. You know, he kind of walks around like he owns the joint because he's Santa. I mean, everybody loves him. And there's a guy who would walk around as Ben Franklin, dressed up as Ben Franklin in Philly.
Really?
And I mean, he looked dead ringer. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, he would walk around in his knickers and everything. Kind of smugly looking around at everybody. That's pretty funny.
Peasants.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it was kind of like we had one of those here in Evergreen, you know, to get very, very local for people that don't live in the area. But it was William F. Cody. This is where he called home and he actually passed. And He's got a whole like museum up on Lookout Mountain and stuff.
Yep.
It's pretty badass.
Yep.
It's cool stuff.
I wrote a.
There was a guy that lived in Evergreen for a long time that was like, he'd always be at like the rodeo parade and stuff, right?
Yeah, he looks just like him.
100%. It might have even been one of his family members or some
I
shit.
would totally believe it.
Yeah.
I wrote a.
It was cool having that dude around. We should look up his name. Just
I
to
wrote
give
a
him
report
shout-out.
on him when I was a kid in like 4th or 5th grade. I had to pick an American hero, and he was who I did the.
Oh, there's him and Teddy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's funny. I actually have been to every spot you guys have been talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I used to live in
Well,
Delaware.
chime in there,
I know,
shorty.
well,
Dude, what the fuck, dude? Come on, let's.
You had me shut off. man.
sorry.
Oh no, what a jerk!
All you got to do is just start talking.
I was over in New Hope, Pennsylvania.
So when I said Newtown, that's Newtown's right next. Well,
Right
not
there.
it's right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
So you know what I mean, where it's just so lush and
then,
gorgeous.
Yeah, and same with Philly too. I've done a lot of the historic stuff there. And,
Yeah.
Yep. And like the Delaware River, did the reenactments, stuff like that.
Nice.
So it's a ton of history.
Yeah, that's fucking iconic, right?
Isn't
I
that
saw
where,
you
like-
nodding over there because it's
Yeah,
like you
I know
can
exactly what you
you
mean.
can go stumbling past something very historic and not even think
Yeah.
about it. And now it's just like people buzzing around on Lime scooters, like fucking shooting right past. So like when you would walk past it was one thing to ignore it, but now they're doing like 20 miles an hour past it.
Fuck,
and it's
dude.
just like all this stuff is just like in everyone. Nobody's even paying attention.
When
to
the
it
fuck
anymore.
are they going to kick those stupid ass things off the sidewalks, man?
Dude, I don't
There's
know.
got to be
Those-
so many people that have been.
Dude,
just
those
taken
things are
out?
sketchy.
They're dangerous, dude.
They are totally
I have
sketchy.
flown off of one because I hit, the curbs in Denver are fucked up, like
Yeah.
3 or 4 inches just on the sidewalk.
Sure.
I just went.
I rode one-
headfirst
I
over
rode one
popped
once.
the tire.
Nobody's
like,
wearing
this is
helmets,
bad.
dude. They're all
Oh
going to
my-
the bar. They've all been drinking.
Multiple people on them. You see the guys riding around with like his girlfriend on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, do you hate her? Like, what the fuck, dude? There's no helmets, nothing. That really like is shocking to me.
I saw a guy
But if you get rid of them,
walking
what are
his
they
dog
gonna,
on
what are they
one.
going to throw at cop cars if you get rid of them?
What are you going to throw through Waymoo windows,
I
bro?
know. What am I going to throw off an overpass? Like, fuck,
That was wild.
dude, all that stuff.
That shit was wild.
So this was the town that I lived in, New Hope, and it connects right to Lambertville
Oh shit! So you lived on the East Coast for a
Yeah.
while?
So
for about
my,
9 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
My brother was a cook at the Lambertville Inn, which is I'm on the wrong side. Oh, that's the Lambertville Inn right there. So that's New Hope and that's Lambertville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Oh,
he-
that makes more sense.
right there.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the cook at that place right there.
That's fucking cool.
That's a beautiful area. I need to when we all go back. Maybe I'll make it a point
Jeez,
to
that's a long word.
I'll make it a point to go through some of these
Yeah.
beautiful areas.
This is definitely one of them. I really do remember it being just everywhere you went was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, all the way up to Frenchtown, and it's
I think Americans don't, in general, just don't hold this at value, right? Like you talked about just being complacent with it. Like, I think we're just so new to it. Like we're so new to the world, honestly. Like,
Well-
dude, I spent a 4th of July in London, and it was one of the most miserable things I did because I was out with a crew of guys, and you know who the fuck you are,
What do you mean?
that were all English.
Yeah.
And they were giving me shit because it was the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, that's
Dude.
all water under the bridge.
Yeah, no, it got spicy that night.
Yeah, that's
Somebody might have got knocked out in an elevator, but I don't know what happened, dude. Talk
No,
shit
I-
about
it-
America,
it's I don't know. I feel like maybe in Europe, in some of the countries in Europe, and excluding America, that there's these really deep, millennia old cultural established, and we're just new.
Yeah,
You know,
no, we're so
a couple
new.
100 years old. It's still like, yeah, we can geek out on architecture or whatever, but it's still like, and it's not that old. You know,
Oh, these
you're-
fuckers
you're-
were telling me, like,
you're in Robin,
oh, we
you're in
got-
Robin Hood's bar.
We got park benches older than your country.
I know,
you know?
yeah, they're
Shit
right.
like that.
We do.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no real, and then toss in just, a bunch of sideways political shit, and everybody kind of goes in their own direction. There's no like cultural bond. So
because we're such a melting pot, I think, right?
I mean, it's not a very popular thing to say, but I think that's probably has something to do with it. And then, unless something's like super old, I don't know that you care about it as much. And so your teen years, you just burn past. Like I said,
Can we party there?
Yeah.
It's like
exactly.
Yeah. Can I throw a keg in
Yo,
there?
man, Washington used to party here. Come on, we're gonna get wasted.
Yeah.
That's kind of. Yeah.
Are there any chicks gonna be there, dude? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's,
there it is. Betsy Ross House.
That's dope. We should go back and do some just do a little East Coast. No, so what we were talking about before we hit record, my goal is for next year, we should really try to solidify this, so I'm going to say it publicly.
Yeah.
I want to go to Alaska to the fucking 4th of July car launch.
Who were we talking about with that?
Well, I've talked about it on the podcast like multiple times, and when Derek was on as a guest,
we talked about that.
We talked about it for like a half an hour, dude, and went down this rabbit hole, like watching a bunch of videos. Dude, we got so much hate from Alaska during that episode. Did you read any of the comments or anything?
No, I didn't.
Oh, shit. So I had said in the podcast, like, these people can't afford fireworks or something like that. So they must be like, they just launch cars off of a cliff. And they were like, no, asshole, it's because it doesn't get dark there and fireworks wouldn't work. And I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. So apologies publicly and shout out to all my homies in Alaska.
That's what that's all about?
Yeah, dude.
I had no idea that's what that was about.
Yeah. This is like the coolest fucking thing ever, though, because I am a metalhead and I love destruction and pyro and like, I just like shit getting destroyed, dude. Like it's fun to watch. And what better way to destroy a car, dude?
I am.
Look at that, bro. A RV with a boat with an American flag painted it on the side of it.
I am 100%. I am 100% the opposite of you.
Yeah.
I hate seeing anything get damaged. I hate seeing ever since I was a kid, I couldn't watch slam sections of skate videos.
Really?
Oh, dude, don't show me
hurt.
Don't show me somebody getting hurt.
No, I don't want to. I don't like to see people get hurt. But I like to see a rock star throw a TV out of a fucking hotel window, bro.
What did the TV do? And then
the wrong place, wrong time, bro.
I'm like, this car. Why?
That's so
especially
rad.
if it's something that's kind of cool because I'm such a car dork. I'm like, they shouldn't. That was a Survivor. They shouldn't have thrown that off that. I'm
gonna start like tomorrow contacting these dudes, maybe after this week, and be like, yo, we want to come as a mountainside deal. Let's collaborate on something.
Yeah, next season.
Let's buy a mountainside RV and launch it off the cliff or something, dude. That would be rad.
I'll tell you.
That would be so.
Can we set it on fire first?
I'm just surprised that they don't.
Yeah. Look at that thing, dude.
If you throw it, see, that's what I'm saying. Don't throw that off the cliff.
This is why we got to take Jeremy. You're going to be mic'd up this whole time.
Don't throw that one off.
Oh, it's going off, bro.
No, not that. All this stuff's cool. I was, this reminds, dude, the cleanup, all of it. I don't like any of this stuff. I mean, I get why they do it, but my goodness.
It's not like you or I have to clean it up, bro.
I know, but it's like, I hate trash.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
This is not very environmentally sound, but I fucking love this idea, dude. If I had private property, this is what I would do. This is the problem. If I got Rogan money, this would be my backyard, bro. Like every day, I'd be like, come over, we're rolling rocks down the fucking hill. We're gonna see how many trees we can take out.
Oh my gosh, that's
hysterical. I'd be that asshole that bought all that public land and to do cool shit.
That wouldn't be me. I'd be going, you see that 90s minivan? That's just like the one my mom used to have.
Yeah.
I'll take it and restore it. That's what I would do with
the cop car's pretty cool.
Keep
the lights working on it.
Yeah,
let's go.
Right. They can throw that one off.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do that next year.
That'd be rad.
Alaska. I've never been to Alaska.
I know, me neither.
Really?
Got pretty close.
Oh, that's right. Just last year, right? Or something.
Driving up BC.
BC's fucking incredible, dude.
Yeah.
So badass. That's what Amesbury's doing right now is he's road tripping with his family. He hit Colorado. We got to record with him, have an epic night at the Mercules concert. Shout out. My new favorite rapper. And then he's driving NorCal all the way up to BC. Dude, touring, that was the best thing, was to hop in the jump seat of the bus going through BC, and you'd see like bears cross the road and fucking killer whales and
What did you go?
I mean,
BC
all
for?
kinds of stuff.
I was a rescue mission.
What? Like with a church?
No.
Okay.
Like, to rescue my girlfriend's little brother and his girlfriend.
All right.
Yeah, they got in a car accident out there and flipped their car.
Oh, shit. Are they all right?
Yeah, they were on their way back from Alaska. So they were like done with their trip and they were on their way back home.
That's a crazy road trip, dude, by the way.
And it was a rainy night and her little brother was sleeping and then his girlfriend was driving her truck and one of the tires slipped off the road a little bit. And I'm not sure exactly what happened, but maybe there was like a little overcorrection or something. But then the car just did like a bullet flip like 3 times, and they both came out of it unscathed. Like,
Wow.
Really?
But
Lucky.
They were in a place with no service, and the sheriff, there was something behind them. And then, so that's how they wouldn't have been found for a long time if there wasn't anybody behind them.
Oh my
crazy,
God, dude, that's
A
insane.
long time. Like,
Dude, my buddy Andrew got in an accident like that, and he's not with us anymore. But he got pinned in his car, and he was down in a hill, and just by the grace of God, somebody saw skid marks. I wonder what those are up to. And then there's a fucking guy down there, like
yeah.
And they found
When
him.
you're in this kind of territory, you feel the urge to go look because it's
Right.
so remote. It's so out there. This is where we had to pick him up, Dease Lake. From Vancouver.
Get the holy shit, dude.
We had to rent
that's
a car
wild.
in Vancouver and drive to Dease Lake.
That's wild.
Wow.
It was a 21-hour drive.
That's crazy.
So it was like us driving from Denver to New York.
Dude, that earned you some fucking good boyfriend points.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's for sure. We actually weren't even dating that long. And like,
yeah, man. Found the dude.
Hell yeah.
I'm just
That's awesome.
self-employed.
Must be a
you know,
good
so I was
woman.
able to
Yeah.
be like, I
Yeah.
can still work on the go. Like, let's do it.
Good for
Right.
you.
That's
Here,
rad,
let me
dude.
show you something cool. Go to Instagram and look up account.
Oh, shout out to the
is-
Wildflower.
Look at that.
Hey.
Checking out some eggs.
Please don't come to Evergreen if you're in Denver, though, and you're visiting and you want the best food in all of Colorado. Go to Wildflower Cafe. Shout out.
Go to search and look up the username Brian's Questionable Decisions.
Is this one of your buddies?
No,
Okay.
I followed this dude for a while,
Dr.
but
Scientist.
Dr. Scientist.
What?
So
This guy's driving a Ferrari?
yo, this is the cool. This is
What the fuck?
this is like
Questionable.
Follow this guy.
this dude's got it. He gets it. He started doing this during COVID.
Wow.
And he bought a Ferrari and strapped a roof rack on.
Not
it.
just a Ferrari. What? Enlighten me, car geek.
It's a 308. It's like the
Okay.
Magnum PI one.
It's like
Yeah.
it's the dope one.
It's so beautiful. It's
Yeah,
achingly,
Don Johnson
achingly-
should be driving that thing, or
achingly
Tom
beautiful.
Selleck.
Oh, he's got
Tom
good
Selleck.
taste in cars for sure.
But anyway, so he tours all over the country in this, and he went up to
Dude, why aren't you doing this?
because
you got a family.
Just look at the ball this dude's having. And honestly, Pennsylvania plates. He's from
He's from the hood.
So anyway, he
Funny.
but I forget the name of the road that takes you to the Arctic Circle. It's it's a gravel road that
Look at that, dude.
it just
That takes some fucking balls.
just my hero,
I'm
dude.
Sorry, man.
And so anyway, he comes through Colorado every once in a while.
Really?
And to go skiing, and then I messaged him.
Dude, we got to have him on the podcast. And I don't want to be the host. I want you to be the host.
1,000% if he gets out here.
Let's do it.
But I was making fun of his hella fog light install. I don't know if that he
can't do that on a Ferrari,
he uses
bro.
like plumber strap.
Yeah.
So I saw they had this car down at Blue Chip in Denver.
You actually saw this car?
Yeah, and it was
shit.
it was right after he went up to oh man, I forgot the name of the. It's like the road ends, and then it's just like, okay, there's the Arctic.
Like you're driving across like ice road trucker
No,
shit?
no, this is paved. But if you go, it's all the way down from where he
Oh,
started
look
when he
at
started his
there's
account.
in front of the Colorado
There he
sign.
goes.
Yeah.
So
What's his name?
Brian? I don't know his last name.
Okay. What's the Instagram handle?
Brian's Questionable Decisions.
Okay. Shout out Brian. If you're ever in Colorado, you have an open seat
But he had a
on the mountainside, and
it
we'll
would
get
be
you
cool.
a free meal
It
at the
would be-
Wildflower as well.
Thrown in. It would be actually very interesting. He's just been all over the country and all over the country.
Dude, what do you do if the car breaks down? Like you
figure it out, and you have just like a network of people. Like
you got a welder in the trunk or something.
You get good at it. I don't know.
MacGyver type shit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the steering columns all ripped apart and shit. Yeah.
And then
I mean, a Ferrari can't be the most reliable car, right?
It's the least reliable. It's not the most
Italians,
reliable.
yeah.
It's the least reliable.
Yeah,
and actually, like
sense.
this, if you're going to drive one, this is probably the one to do, the one to have to do it. Because I guess if you're going to drive vintage Ferrari, you don't want to go too far back. The newer stuff is obviously much more reliable. But
this is so rad, dude.
These
are the people I want to have on the mountainside.
This is like. Yeah, like I want you to be my friend.
Yeah,
but anyway, yeah. So he drove that all the way up to.
I bet you this guy has so many fucking stories.
Is it Fairbanks?
Probably.
All the way up.
I don't know. Pull up a map, Derek, of Alaska. Let's check it out.
But yeah, then he bought a Lotus. Like, dude,
what a great purchase by America, by the way, bro.
Alaska.
Yes,
dude. One on that one.
And you guys gotta go. You guys got to go if you've never been. It's unbelievable.
Drove through Fairbanks, but no, he drove to the end.
Well, Fairbanks isn't way up there. That's not Arctic Circle.
I'm wrong. But anyway, he drove this.
Maybe the Yukon. Probably the Yukon.
Yeah, but he drove this thing solo, totally unreliable car, jugs of fuel on top of it. Drove it all the way to no man's land. Took some pictures. Turned around and fucking drove back. It's like, dude, you rule. This is fucking awesome.
That's badass.
But yeah,
I've done some wild shit like that for like a weekend to San Diego to go surf like one break and then get back in the car and leave.
I'd love to do that.
That was stupid.
I'd love to do something like that, but
I had the best time.
I'm such a cheapskate that like I would hate for something to break and then have to call a tow truck and go to a hotel and you find a guy who can fit like.
Dude, you just go for it.
I know.
Just go for it.
That's when the adventure begins.
Well, it's funny. My San Diego adventure started at like a bar. It actually started. We went to 311, like in 1990 something.
Oh my gosh!
At Fiddler's Green, and then we left and almost got arrested. It was a long story. And then my buddies that were with me that night and drinking, we were like, let's go to San Diego tomorrow and surf, being young and dumb.
And you were where?
I was living in Littleton at the time.
Oh my God.
And I was like, let's go to San Diego tomorrow. I'm leaving at 6:00 in the morning. And none of those fuckers went with me. So I went solo mission. I was like, I'm going to show these dudes.
What?
Dude, I got to like Grand Junction. I was like, oh, I'm going to turn around.
I'm
exhausted. I can't, dude. I can't go. I'm hungover.
San Diego.
So I drove straight through to San Diego. I think I stopped in Vegas and I woke up at a truck stop and these dudes were trying to rob me. I got in a fist fight with these two dudes.
No way.
Luckily, they didn't have a weapon or anything. Like, some dumbasses.
Jesus.
Somewhere, like, I don't even know where I was at in Nevada, someplace, not just outside of Vegas. So then I got to San Diego. I go into the surf shop at like 6:00 in the morning. They weren't even open. And there's this dude in the back, like, working. And he just happens to be listening to my favorite band at the time and smoking mad reefer. Whatever he was doing there at 7 or 6:00 in the morning. He's like, what the fuck are you doing in here? And I was like, bro, I just want to rent a surfboard. I'm trying to surf and get the hell out of here. And I started telling him my whole story. He was like, smoked a joint with him. And he's like, bro, take this for free. Make sure you bring it back, please.
Hysterical.
That's amazing.
So I went and surfed, but I locked the keys of my car in the keys in the trunk when I was getting like my. Oh. I didn't have a wetsuit or anything, dude.
Oh my God.
Thank God it was summer. So then I had to go to like the local like liquor store and I bought a barbecue spatula and was trying to break into the car. And this ex-Marine cop, I was in Oceanside is where I was at. That's actually where I was surfing. And this cop pulls up that's like this ex-Marine and I'm like a kid and this dude's like in mid-30s or something. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? So he put me in handcuffs and I was like, I swear to God, it's my car. He's like, yeah, I bet it is, right? And I look homeless at this point because I'm in like board shorts, still hungover from.
Dude, this is the most retarded story I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, it's so dumb.
This is the dumbest thing. Like, I'm glad you did it. So I can hear this right now, but this is the dumbest thing ever.
So he calls a tow truck company. They fucking whatever. Those Slim Jim my fucking car.
Yeah, he
get
probably
the keys out.
got it
I had to
unlocked
prove
in like
it was
2
mine.
minutes.
He's like, dude, that was a rad story. I'm just gonna I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was trying to break into my own car, but he was like, it's a good story. Whatever.
Okay, so
I was like, I got to make it back on Monday. So I stopped in Mesquite, Nevada, and ended up partying. Just happened to party with Willie Nelson that night.
What?
He was in Mesquite, like playing a casino show, and I ran into him and his whole crew at the bar.
what?
Man, I wish that guy would come back to
I was like,
Evergreen.
"It's a trip of a lifetime." Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and as soon as I said Evergreen, we hit it off like
I
that.
wish he
course.
would come and play at the fucking Little Bear.
How cool
Dude,
would that
could
be?
you imagine walking into the Little Bear and seeing Waylon Jennings and fucking Willie in there,
It's a dream of
the
mine.
the Outlaws? Come on, bro.
I know. And it's
It's
like
once in a lifetime.
and I don't know.
I've even
I
been
feel like
in
all that
Willie's-
cool shit. It's all gone.
It's gone, for sure.
It's all in the rearview mirror.
Yep.
Everything's dumber. Everything's stupider. None of those moments, like that was a moment in time.
No, it's
When
back
the
when they used to have to
popularity-
wash the blood off the street
Yes.
after Friday.
So like that's I'm like, damn it.
I remember like the barbacks or something, like at 4:00 in the morning, we'd ride our BMX bikes down there and they'd be literally hosing down the blood from
Yeah.
whatever shit went down at the Little Bear. Because it was it was an outlaw fucking bar is what it was.
But that's what I'm talking. That's kind of what I'm talking
We're
about.
getting so
Like,
local right now.
I know. But like everything's like wearing thin. It's like nothing's cool anymore. You know what I mean? It's like tickets to go somewhere. The pit is $10,000. You know, like the
Yeah.
fucking I don't know. The Formula One, it was something that I'm into. Is like it's a parade now. It's not even like
Right.
It used to be gritty and dirty, and they had chicks holding the signs, grid girls, and like
Right.
everything's gone. They've sanitized that. You know, you got to get your face red to get into a concert, or it's just like And meanwhile, like if we just were 35 years older, we would have seen Waylon Jennings down the street. Right. You know, like
It's true.
fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I just missed it. Shit.
Well, that shit still kind of happens. I mean, it happened to me 2 weekends ago.
I know, but it's
Yeah.
it's rare.
It's very rare.
The town didn't.
You
got to
catch them
experience
on like the come up when they're not like a big deal.
it. Yeah, well,
Because I
not
don't
even-
think Willie and Waylon were like huge
Yeah, they were.
during that era. Like they were becoming huge, like in the 70s.
Yeah, they were.
In the 80s they were, but all that shit happened like in the 70s around here, I think, right?
I don't know. All I know is he would play a lot in the town.
I don't know, man.
Like
I
that's
feel
why
like-
they were the
I feel like
outlaws
they
of
were-
country, because they were doing their own thing.
Yeah, but that caught on
Oh,
big. I
that's
mean, they were on.
everything
They
now,
were on. They
right?
were on. You know, they were on Carson and all of that stuff in the 80s. I mean, I don't know.
Johnny Carson.
But yeah, I just feel like it's not
You think
cool anymore, man. Nothing's cool anymore. Nothing's
No,
like
there's still cool
underground.
shit out there, dude.
I don't know, but that's it. I'm just
There's still
I'm just
cool
not
shit out
exposed
there.
to it.
You know what I found? And I was just talking to Amesy about this, and it's crazy that I was like, I get invited to so much cool shit now. And I really have to drag myself out by the collar to actually go and take the initiative to
Yeah,
go
maybe
down
that's
there.
maybe that's it.
Because I'm old,
Yeah.
and
maybe
I'd
that's
much rather just sit at home and like enjoy my peace and quiet and fucking sit on the porch and smoke a joint that has no weed in it from Taboo Social or like something like cool like that, right? Like a CBD joint or something like that. And it's just I really have to like give myself a pep talk, like, all right, you don't know
Yeah.
it's gonna or you know what I've done lately that's helped? It's like, because what I hate is paying for it, like the hangover and all that shit. So I just go with the intention, like, I'm not going to drink. I'm just going to go to experience it. And I've had such a better time. But it's like you have to go to those invitations. Like if you don't go, you don't have those weekends.
Right.
You know?
No, one of Aaron's guys, dude's funny, Mike. He said to me, "Nothing's more exciting than canceling plans." And I'm like, I was like, I had to think about that for a second. And he's like, "Yeah, think about it. The whole lead up to it is you're getting amped. It's almost like you're experiencing it. You're feeling this dopamine hit, and then fuck it.
Right.
Not going. It's like you save a bunch of money. You get to have a real crazy change of plans because you're not going anymore. He's like, yeah, nothing's more fun than that.
No, I just figured this out like in the last couple of years because I've been invited to so much cool shit. It's like every time that I go, I have a fucking blast.
I like that picture of him right there. That one right there.
Oh, that's dope, man.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's at Live Aid.
Speaking of Willie Nelson, I got to have Mark Morris back in. By the way, I got so many people on the list. I got to get back in here.
You know what? Speaking of cool,
look at the Little Bear Bar, bro. Look at that.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
If that place could tell stories, you know?
Yeah, just the freaking stairs.
Bro.
Just the stairs tell such a story as you go.
Look at how rounded that is, just from the elbows that have rubbed on it.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a perfectly square bar at one point.
Probably.
And people have been so angry there that they pulled out their knives in the bar and just carved their name into it. Sarah loves John. And then you'll see it X'd out like a week later.
Man, they removed all of the stuff upstairs.
I haven't
Kinda
even been in there lately.
Redid a lot of that.
Oh, really?
And the
That's a
one
bummer.
section they left was the one section that had my last name carved in.
Ah,
cool.
damn it. Oh, they left it.
left it.
They left it.
It's
Okay,
still
that's
there.
cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
They always
Did
clean
that back in high school.
They always clean up the bras during Christmas.
They take 'em
They
down?
would take them down because you got families cruising through there to get pictures with Santa and Mrs.
True.
Claus.
Yeah, they just take them down, put them
And I remember we were upstairs, and I looked over, and my son James was probably like 10 years old, 9 years old, and it's him and his buddy found the one bra that wasn't taken down, and they were leaning over the rail. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, nothing. And I'm like, you trying to get that fucking bra? It's like, it was hilarious.
Hell yeah, that's rad. You know, the funniest thing is that, oh, look, there's the photo. Yep, that's a classic. Look at all the bras up there. Come on. How many titties have been seen in that place that you did not want to see? You know? It's crazy. That's a wild spot, man. The funniest thing about that, I think, is they've been doing a cowboy sermon there. I think it's like one Sunday a month or something. They hold church at the Little Bear.
Really?
On Sunday morning.
Its original purpose was a church.
Yeah.
It's old dude, Ed Shirley. Shout out.
That's cool.
He's the fucking man.
Oh,
is the sermon.
I thought they only did that during the rodeo.
Maybe it is.
I think it's just during the rodeo.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, that guy's great. I was over at the tent when he did the blessing for the
great dude.
The dinner. But no, I was saying, speaking of cool, this is off topic, but are Vespas gay?
To me, they are.
Are they?
If your wife ride ones, it's cool.
My wife got one, and I rode it, and then I'm like,
no, you can't ride that.
Okay, all right.
Maybe if she's on the back and she like needs some lessons
I found
something,
one
but-
that's like dope,
Yeah,
dude.
and I'm
please
like,
don't,
I don't know
Jeremy.
if I can
Come on,
do
man.
it or not.
I might have to blacklist you from the podcast,
Dude, stop it. Hang on a second. This thing's really cool. That's the one that she got. Well, it's the same color and everything. It's this one. But it's super
Nice.
cool. It's super cool, and I took it for a spin, and I was like, this thing's super fun.
Anybody that wouldn't, the Hells Angels could have fun on a Vespa. You know they could, dude.
Yeah.
Probably not as much fun as they have on their Harleys, but
I like the ones that are almost
Dude.
like a lowrider.
full disclaimer.
You're talking the Ruckuses, the Honda
Ruckus,
Ruckuses.
yeah, something like that.
No, this is hipster shit, dude.
I've got a good streak of hipster in me. I don't know if you're aware of it. I've got late 90s, early 2000s hipster blood pumping through me.
So full disclaimer, I was in Uruguay for an entire week, and this was the only thing that you could rent, and I bought one with a surfboard rack, dude.
Yeah.
And we went all over Uruguay all week long, like
Nothing
as
would
a
have made
motorcycle
me.
gang.
Nothing would have made me happier than if somebody was there taking pictures of you on a Vespa.
I'm pretty sure somebody's got some video somewhere. Of
I
it.
like the vintage ones.
I look like fucking the Donkey Kong character, dude.
I was
on
riding it.
Mario
I was
Kart.
riding it around. And I was like, "Do you remember that that photo of the Guinness Book of World Records, like the fat brothers who were riding around on mini bikes? Like it was on the back of the."
I think so. Yeah, I
was
do.
like, oh, what if I look like that? But no, I like the vintage ones,
No,
but I don't know
man.
that they're powerful enough.
Don't you have a CRF? Like,
I've got a dirt bike. But
yeah,
I know.
Just ride that with her.
But this is kind of cool. They're stylish. They're Euro.
Yeah, don't do it.
It'll look cool in my garage.
Don't do it, dude.
There's a green one in Taos. I may or may not have been messaging with the guy. It's a great deal, and it's freshly tuned.
What does one of those things cost, if you don't mind me
If you
asking?
get a brand new one, is like $8,000. If
That's
you
not horrible.
the used one though,
man, that's crazy.
The used one that Bert in Taos has is $3,000, and it's the big ones, the 300, and they'll do 90.
Now, if you put like a Hayabusa engine in it or something, that would be
actually,
fucking cool, dude. Where do you
Look at how
put it?
adorable
Where is
there.
the engine?
Cool.
In the back?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, these things are cool, man. I don't know. Big dude on a Vespa. I think I might be starting a new trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start a new trend of Bobby not talking to me anymore.
Yeah. And I
No,
don't talk to you.
listen, it takes all man to do something like that, dude. If you can pull it off, like,
That's the thing. I don't know.
shout
that I
out,
can't- I don't
shout
know that I
out to
can't
our
pull
new
it off.
sponsor, SABO Broadheads, by the way, which is a fucking incredible engineering piece of fucking art. But Jansen, the guy that
Speaking of art,
runs it,
Yep.
drives a Prius everywhere with like SABO logos on it and shit. Yeah. So if that's your niche, dude, you got to own it though. You can't be like, you can't pull up embarrassed. Like, you got to pull up and like,
dude, there would be
swing your dick out
There
or
would be
something, you know what I mean?
not an ounce of embarrassing.
Okay.
It's straight up.
Well, listen, if you're happy, I'm happy, but
Look at her.
doesn't mean I believe in your decisions.
Doesn't mean I have to. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean I have to like it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. It's
Nice.
America. This is freedom. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do, Jeremy.
Well, yeah, but
So,
I don't like that either. I don't.
don't
like do
listen to
whatever
what
you
your
want.
friends think are cool.
That's why I'm testing it in live on the.
Well,
in the
why'd you
studio.
test it with me, bro? You
Because
knew
I
what my
value
reaction
your
was going to
opinion.
be.
Our
I
Vespa's
value your
cool.
opinion.
That's all he said. Our Vespa's cool.
Yeah.
Look at that guy.
It's not
It's got
cool,
all. It's got all.
man.
It's got all the gear on it.
Yeah.
Derek, come on, dude.
I can't do it.
Riding around Evergreen, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Oh man, my girlfriend would freak out. She would love it.
I'll let her drive it around.
Yeah.
Bobby will be like, "See, that's who's supposed to be driving,
Yeah.
not you, dummy."
Absolutely. Well, fuck. Let's wrap it up on that note. We've been
Yeah,
at it for a
we're
minute. We got
chatting
shit
it
to
up.
do. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Dude, thank you guys both so much for being here for years. We're going on
For
years
letting me
now,
come in
man.
here and just blabber.
It's
Always
rad.
fun.
These
I
are
like-
my favorite ones.
I always like coming in here and chatting it up.
And this was a great 4th of July bring in. So we just got to do it more often, man, when we're not busy.
Yeah, with all that free time that you and I have. It's,
Anything you want to shout out?
No, man. That's
Go get some good food at the Wildflower. Derek, Das Boba Designs. Fucking let's go. Go
Yep.
get you an American flag bolo tie for 4th of July.
Yeah, that's true. Haven't made one of those yet.
there's,
That'd be rad.
Yeah.
Eagle or something. Something American.
See, it'll look good in the garage, right in between those two cars.
Both of those are yours.
No, that
Oh gosh, I
dude,
was
that thing's
damn.
that's like a $500,000.
I know that thing is sick.
It's ridiculous. No, the rabbit and the
That's
and
all
the
I need
Porsche
up
are-
here, you know.
If you're gonna do it, just embrace it fully and like make it like the Wildflower like thing or something like a Vespa.
that's what
game
hers-
thing
that's
or
what hers
something.
is.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, it's
There's the homie.
Yeah, Josh. Shout out. Chef
that
Josh.
guy's
Bear.
such a machine. Yeah,
That's rad.
yeah, he's a good dude.
All right.
thanks
I
for
love
having me,
you
brother.
guys.
Love
Happy
you too.
4th of July to everybody. Be safe out there and enjoy your freedom. Thanks for listening to the Mountainside Podcast. If you haven't had a chance to do this already, please take a moment, follow, like, subscribe, or rate on whatever platform you catch the Mountainside Podcast at. If you'd like some more information on upcoming episodes, safety tips, access to all of our affiliates, and all the badass discounts that we get here at the Mountainside Podcast, check out themountainsidepodcast.com.